I mean, there's no such thing as bad learning or too much learning, or everything will help you and will guide you and will serve you in some way in the future. So
and we're
if I may,
go for it.
We like this topic.
Well, we get inspired by you guys, right? Especially by those students that have this type of projects.
Hello everyone, welcome to Up Next with Kimura. Today I am here with StartUP FIU with Irene and Gustavo. Thank you guys so much for being here. I can't believe that this is actually happening today. We're going to be having a little discussion on what StartUP FIU does and how it's able to benefit students. StartUP FIU is something that's been undercover, and I want it to really unleash and have students be able to be more aware of what this actually can provide for them. StartUP FIU focuses on helping students foster connections, encouraging the use of foundational principles to unleash their full potential and endure a successful future. So, just want to do a little introduction. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
And thank you so much for having us, Kimura. We're really happy to be here. So my name is Irene Faridaz, and I am the Director of Marketing and Communications for StartUP FIU.
Go ahead.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure and an honor to have you. So thank you for coming to our space. Always welcome. Mm-hmm. My name is Gustavo Grande. I'm the Venture Ready Program Director.
That's so awesome. Okay, so we're going to get into it. If you want to go ahead and just give a brief explanation on what StartUP FIU is through your eyes, we'd love to hear all about it.
Well, we're considered the innovation hub of the university, and this is definitely a very unique and open space where students from all majors, disciplines, and all fields can kind of come together to unlock their creativity, share ideas, and learn more about the future of technology. So again, we're not limited to any one major or profession. We're just here to enhance your college experience and help prepare you for those skills.
Yeah, I think this is super important because you think you have to be a certain major in order to do something. You don't have to be. This is open because everyone always has that area of concentration that they go to, but they also have other skills that they can hone into. And I think StartUP FIU is able to really expand on that idea and have other people go for other ideas that they have in life, because it doesn't have to just be one directional. You can have different avenues in order to channel your craft. So how can students utilize this more to help them?
Sure. So StartUP FIU, when you hear the word startup, usually people think of entrepreneurship, of businesses, right? But think about as the startup of you. So think about as you as a project of you as that project that you want to develop and you want to take out into the world. So StartUP FIU is a space where people come, like-minded individuals, in order to share, to network, to have the courage to express, speak up, and share what they're thinking, what they're seeing, and also to challenge each other. So students can come, they can make use of the working space that we have on the front of. We are here in what we call the prototyping lab or the student launch. They can make use of different equipments that we have, but also, and most importantly, have conversations with the people that work here and use us as mentors as well.
Yeah. So what does the environment look like when students come in and they have an idea, they pitch it to you? What does that process look like for them in order for them to execute that?
Sure. So everyone is at a different stage. Not every case looks the same. Yeah. So we would like first to invite them to any of our events. And the best way to get in touch with us or to learn about our events is through social media, specifically Instagram. Yeah. So at StartUP FIU. When they come to our events, it could be a learning community, which is more like a forum, a conversation. We have Hacker Nation and Student Idea Circle, which are spaces where students connect, interact, share what's in their mind. But also they can book an appointment, what we call office hours with myself. And that way with questions, I can assess where they are and based on where they are, guide them in terms of next steps on what they want to do with their ideas.
Awesome. And StartUP FIU has been around
since 2016. We've been the innovation hub of the university, yes.
Yeah. And what did the COVID year look like? Was it more virtual, or were you still able to get that one-on-one perspective?
We, like most of the university, we had to pivot very quickly. We had to be as creative and as innovative as possible. But we still were able to connect with students and provide that guidance and mentorship. So that was really great for us, yeah.
Awesome. I love to hear that. So I know we were talking before about the 3 pillars. Will you be able to like expand on that a little bit more?
Sure. So StartUP FIU, we actually have 3 areas or pillars. So the first one, which is the one we're going to be talking about the most, obviously, is student entrepreneurship, which Gustavo Grande is the head of. So again, connecting students with their potential, helping them kind of unleash their inner creative and their inner, innovation guru, and just, providing them the skills that no matter what field or career you end up going into, I mean, these skills are just going to be invaluable to all students. So that's our first pillar. Our second pillar is working with researchers and faculty members at FIU, helping to translate whatever they're working on in the laboratory or, in their academic setting to the market. So we help kind of determine if they need funding, how we can make that happen for them, and how to get that entrepreneurial mindset, something that comes a little more naturally to them. And our third pillar is working with the small business community, and that is StartUP FIU Local. So as most of you know, if you're from South Florida, we have a very diverse community, a lot of mom and pop family businesses, and sometimes they just need a little help getting to that next level of growth or acceleration. Everything we offer is 100% free, and we say that your success is our success. So that's what we want to see all of our different pillars succeed and get out there.
Yeah, and I actually remember, if you guys are familiar with Y'all Foods, he actually started up with StartUP FIU Local,
That's right.
and so the food is amazing, 1, and 2, it's just really awesome to see, because then he was able to open up in the engineering building,
That's right.
and then now actually bringing the food to Breezeway Market here, and also in the UT Lounge, which is like a food area that's pretty new to FIU in the housing quad. So it's been expanding all over, and I love to see it. It's very healthy, flavorful food that college students can have that's very convenient. So I think that just starting here and the way I've been able to see it grow has really inspired me to, kind of hone in on my skills while I'm at the university as well.
We actually have, together with Y'all Foods, was Chef Jordan, who he also has, it's called La Cabana, or The Cabana, at GC. And his specialty is like Jamaican, jerk, Cajun, using all the spices.
Yeah.
And he also went through the FIU, StartUP FIU local program. So exactly, we try to connect them with opportunities that may exist not only in FIU, but throughout the community with, government entities or other large organizations.
Right. Did you have any process? Were you a part of the process of helping Y'all Foods expand?
It's another team that works on it. So I do all of the marketing and communications, and I assist them in promoting or kind of getting the word out about this great news. But I know that they did a taste testing with 4 or 5 different companies, which was a lot of fun. And at the end, we decided on Chef Jordan's La Cabana and Y'all Foods. We figured those were the best tasting. They would be the best fit for the university community.
Awesome. I want to take a little pivot here and talk about more of the student idea circle. I think that event definitely caught my eye, because I was like, okay, I love being able to brainstorm, have other people kind of intersect or plant a seed on what another idea could be for the idea that I have. So if you can tell me a little bit more about that environment and what it's like for students to do that.
Sure. So as part of student entrepreneurship, we understand that we want to be close to students, but at the same time, we understand that their reality is different than our reality. So we want to make sure that students support other students, right, based on their experience. So Student Idea Circle, it's based on a methodology that's called the Reciprocity Circle, where each individual not only brings challenges that they're going through or questions that they might have, but everyone in the circle then provides feedback, provides recommendations, resources, or connections through their network. So that way it's a peer-to-peer, not only learning, but support system that students can have. And at the same time, they start understanding that their opinions or their feedback also has value. So it builds that confidence that they need in order to move forward, and the collaboration among them.
Exactly, yeah. I definitely can agree to that. As a student, you think that the idea that you have is someone's already doing it, or it's not going to be that big as I think of, or I'm not going to carry it on for the long term. But I think once you have that mentorship and are able to have other people support you in your endeavor, I think that's the type of environment that you need to surround yourself with in order to make that happen. So we were talking about Bob Hacker and Hacker Nation.
Yes.
New tech, everything AI, future, metaverse, Web3, crypto. Tell me more.
Yes. So when people first hear the name Hacker Nation, it's a little bit of a misnomer because they figure, well, what is hacker? I mean, we go hack into computers,
Right.
but our co-founder and director, Robert Hacker, that is his real last name, Hacker.
Okay.
So he created a learning community. I believe it was the first one, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, he wanted a place where students of all ages, all majors, all interest levels can kind of come in and chit chat and have discussions on the latest things that are happening. And as you know, things change not even day to day, minute to minute.
So fast.
So these are, for example, I remember when the FTX cryptocurrency fiasco was kind of happening. The group was huge. Like, what's going to happen next? Are there going to be regulations on crypto? How is it going to work? What's going to be the future of this, technology and this, financial system? So it's a great way to just learn about what's happening and how you can adapt yourself, your career, and the skills that you need in the future, no matter what job you're doing. Because technology is not only is it going to, it already is affecting everything and anything we do.
Yeah.
So being as informed as possible, staying up to date, knowing what the latest technology is, the latest just different avenues is very valuable, no matter what no matter what field you're going to go into. And Bob Hacker, just like Gustavo, is a wonderful mentor. They both really connect with students and help them kind of grow through the process, evaluate their ideas. So even if you think your idea is maybe silly, or maybe like you said, somebody else is doing this, or
Right.
you're unsure, come to us. We are more than happy to walk you through it. And entrepreneurship, it's not a solo sport, and as we're here to provide that support and that all the resources that you need.
Yeah. And I know you were mentioning as well that it's classroom learning versus like real world learning with this.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So it's funny, a lot of so we have a lot of students obviously that have gone through our programming, and one of the things we like to ask them, once they graduate or when they move on to something else, what were some of the most valuable things that you learned here? And something that continues to come up again and again is, this was such a great complement to what I was learning for my major in the classroom.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do it. I knew, but I learned so much, and it rounded out my education. I had the academic portion, I had the real life portion, and I feel that now I know what a company's looking for. Now I know how to present myself in a really, sharp, effective way.
Yeah.
Now I know, maybe about internship opportunities, job opportunities. I have insight into certain companies that I didn't have before. So it definitely is something that rounds out your path, and while you're here, take as much advantage of it as you can.
Yeah, as I was walking in here today, I saw like a little meeting going on at the front, and definitely these are resources that you need in order to do that. It's going to help develop and help you grow, because communication skills, I feel like, are something that are so like, oh, I got it, like I know how to talk, but being professional at that and being able to be respectful and have the mannerism and the professionalism for it, like this StartUP FIU helps you create that and develop that, and really take it to the next level. Not being like, okay, like I kind of pulled that off, but really being able to grab a hold of it and being able to use it wherever you go in times of need. So what facilities are open for students to utilize here? I know we mentioned once you walk in, you'll see creative pods, you'll see the fishbowl, which my friend Mafe, shout out to Maria Fernandez for showing me this. In the meeting rooms, there's a kitchen here. So what can students really utilize once they come in to this room?
Sure. So for those that have not been yet to StartUP FIU, we are located in the MARC Building, 3rd floor. Once you get out of the elevators, to the right. There you're going to find the front desk, and you have to register. There's an iPad there from time to time, especially in the summer. In the semester. And then if there's no event, then you can use what we call the co-working space, which is all the areas on the front. And there you have what we call the pods. The pods have different themes, from creativity to nap to
Meditation.
We really look at the entrepreneurial mindset as something holistic and not just like one thing, right? Then you also have collaboration spots, which are like high tables where you can meet with your teams. We have whiteboards that you can also use. as long as they are dry erase. Do not use the permanent markers. And then if you have a meeting with a group of students that more than 5 to 10 students, we have the fishbowl. So you can ask the front desk if it's available. You can then reserve it, make the reservation, and make use of it. And last but not least, there are 2 more other things. If you want to eat or have to eat, you cannot eat in the open space, but the kitchen is available for you to heat and eat over there. And last but not least, where we are, which is a student lounge, which you can also use as a place to have a meeting and to brainstorm. We have Legos and we have different elements here that you can use in order to brainstorm with your team or with other students. So those are the areas that are open.
Yeah, just walking in here, it feels like a creative space. You see like little push pins in the shape of a face, or even just the motivation that's posted behind us in the calendar and the resources. And just, it's a hub for being able to really put that creative mindset to use. And I think nowadays with everyone scrolling and like everything becoming digital, the hands-on experience and the hands-on crafting and creativeness really kind of disappears if you don't practice it. Oddly enough to say, like, I remember in elementary we'd play with Play-Doh, like Legos, but that doesn't become everyone's thing as they grow up. So being able to really go back to the foundation, being able to do that, I think really develops and rewires our brain into thinking of what other entrepreneurship routes or research innovation things can be happening while you're in the process of promoting your idea. Or
if I might
go ahead.
Add something there. Creativity is just like any other skill or muscle that we have.
Yes.
If we don't work, if we don't develop it, it's not gonna get enhanced, right?
Yeah.
We all creatives. So the first thing that we need to understand is that we all creatives. The second thing is that in order for us to develop our creativity, which is one of the top 4 skills that all companies are seeking for out there, you're not going to be able to enhance it. So even though we talk about entrepreneurship and technology and the latest advancements, we focus on the human element of those tools. So I wanted to mention that.
Yeah, that's super important. That's super important. So then going off of that, what is something that you guys look for in students that are looking to really take on their idea, like they're serious about it, they want to be able to do it, they want the resources, they want whatever they can get in order to make it happen, to take that next step? What is something that you look in for the student? What if they're not as creative? What if they're more digital based? And what if they're both, like, or not at all, you know?
Yeah. So we believe that everyone has all the skills and the strengths that they need in order to maximize their full potential. But there are a specific type of student that comes to StartUP FIU, and we can identify curiosity as a number 1 element. They ask questions, they are willing to collaborate and communicate and connect, not only with the adults here in the center, but also with other students, with other peers. Then they understand the power of vulnerability, because it requires courage to really put your ideas out there and to get feedback. That definitely demonstrates commitment, which FIU is one of the top universities in terms of Blacks and Hispanics, and also immigrants. So as people from those communities, they are very resilient. So you need to be resilient in order to put your ideas out there, get 100%. Feedback, constructive criticism, and make it happen.
I definitely I saw actually this quote the other day where it's kind of like the way you take constructive criticism is going to be very important, because if you take it as like, oh, like, dang, like I didn't, like, what am I going to do now? Or unless you kind of channel it into like, okay, so that didn't work, let's see what this can do, and okay, you fail again, then you try something else. You know, you have to be able to like work with constructive criticism, because if not, I think that's what really can make students feel down, or like, oh, this idea is not going to work, they're not really going to follow through with it. But it's just that extra building block in order to help you advance your idea more. And we were actually talking about that too with the Albert Einstein quote with you didn't fail, you just found 101 ways that didn't work. Or 100 ways that didn't work. I don't know if I quoted it for verbatim, but let's go ahead and talk about the GSK.
Sure.
Yeah. So GSK, no, you take this, because...
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, GSK
Or-
is, and I'll say a little bit and then.
Sure.
So GSK, this is actually the second cohort or the second time that we're partnering with. They used to be called GlaxoSmithKline. They're one of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies, and they actually came to us because they wanted to kind of find out why the certain barriers to healthcare in different minority communities, and we blew them, our students blew them out of the water, and they were so excited to partner with us again. So it's a 12-week what we call innovation, not a sprint, but it's going to be for the whole semester. Students get to work collaboratively again with other students from all types of majors, and because we want to get as many different perspectives as possible, and just to kind of see what the different barriers to healthcare are, especially in minority communities, African American and Hispanic, and see how they can creatively cross those barriers or address those challenges. And Gus is leading the program,
Sure.
so he can talk a little bit more about that.
So it's a 12-week challenge, right? It's called the GSK Innovation Challenge.
Yes.
And the reason why it's called Innovation Challenge is because regardless if you are a 500 Fortune company or a startup or an entrepreneur that is presenting to investors, right? No matter technology, what they're going to pay attention is what we call the 4 C's. So not only your creativity, but also can you collaborate with people from what we call interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary or even intercultural, multicultural, right? Individuals, right? Also, we'll talk about communication. Can you understand complex problems and describe it in a simple way, in a simple manner, not only to influence potential customers or users, but also to grow your market. And last but not least, what we call critical thinking. So can you think in systems? Can you understand how everything connects? And on top of that, can you deconstruct that problem in a way to find what is the key insight that is going to change, disrupt the market. So to go back again, creativity, communication, collaboration, critical thinking are the main skills that we're going to be developing through that challenge. And at the end of the day, all students get to present their solutions to executives from GSK and ideally win the first or second place.
All the students who complete the 12-week challenge do receive a $1,000 stipend.
Wow. Okay, that's amazing. If you're interested in that, applications close August
24th.
24th.
Mhm.
August 24th, 2020.
2023.
2023.
This month, not next year.
Yes. So.
And it's a great opportunity for students to be able to put on their resume, hey, I work for one of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies. They're getting that real world side of things. Like, what are companies looking for? What are the skills? How do they want you to think? To, again, prepare students as much as possible for life after graduation.
Yes. And that's post-grad life is so important as a senior. It's already something that I'm thinking of, and we already talked about this, but you definitely, if you're a junior or rising, doesn't matter if you're a freshman, definitely start doing what you can right from the start. Don't feel like you have to wait or you're not qualified or you're not like at the hierarchy of where you can go start doing professional work. You can start at any age, especially being in college. You might still feel young, but at the same time it goes by so fast. And especially if you come in, which a lot of students are starting to do with college credits from high school, from dual enrollment or any extra IB, AP classes, then it's going to accelerate you and you're going to be graduating a lot faster than you thought. So if you're not going to be pursuing a master's or just going to be sticking with your bachelor's, start right away. That's my number one recommendation for any college student, because I didn't think that it would be this fast. And even though I was able to complete a lot during that time, I'm really glad at what I was able to accomplish from the first semester on, because I also feel like if you don't, then you're going to start feeling comfortable, and as time goes on, you're going to be like, whoa, but I didn't get to do this, and you rather start doing it from the start, and it might feel a little bit overwhelming at first, but it's definitely going to prepare you for what the real world has to offer in the workspace. So, yeah.
I wanted to say, listen to what she's saying, okay? Very carefully, because you are a role model, okay, an example of that. Just this, like the discipline and the work ethic that what you're doing right now is giving you and is preparing you for your workplace is tremendous. Just like reaching out to us, preparing the questions, using the technology, right? Setting up the script of what you want to do, how do you want to say it, even your vocabulary, and the flow of the conversation, and then later on to edit, to market it. So it's gonna really give you a well-rounded, holistic experience that you could monetize or not. It doesn't really matter at this point. What matters is experience and the discipline and the work ethic that you're building. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
And kind of you took the words right out of my mouth. But another thing too is, there's no such thing as too much learning or too much information, and this is the time when you are in college and you have the ability to connect with different student organizations or take that, philosophy class or world religions or, something that has always kind of maybe piqued your interest, but, I'm too busy with this, I'm too busy with that. I mean, this is the opportunity to cast a wide net and see, how many times do students change their major or one class or one conversation. Oh, wow, I never thought about maybe looking into this, looking into that. So the more touch points you have, the more connections you make, the more relationships you build with your professors, with other students, with organizations on campus, of which there are so many great ones to partner with. I mean, it can only add value and, just prepare you again for that future after graduation. I mean, there's no such thing as bad learning or too much learning, or everything will help you and will guide you and will serve you in some way in the future. So
and we're
if I may,
go for it.
We like this topic.
Well, we get inspired by you guys, right? Especially by those students that have this type of project. And I think we serve a community that is so important to this country. And I will say that if you are a first generation college student, if you come, either if you're an immigrant or come from family that are immigrants, it is so important to look at failure from a different perspective. I come from Latin America, and we look at failure as the end of the world. In the United States, failure is a badge of honor. And the more you learn that, the more used you're gonna be to fail. But again, failure is not a failure if you learn from it, right? So we have a motto that says progress before perfection. And the more you progress, the better you're gonna be at whatever you do or want to do. So I just want to make sure I mention that, because most of the students that we serve are not only Hispanics and Blacks, but they're also first generation college students and either immigrants or family of immigrants.
Good point. Very good point.
And that actually makes me think of the fail fast, fail forward reference.
I got that from Gus. I stole it from him. You gotta give him credit.
Yeah, it's not mine. So yes, as much as we can share that.
I think it might be Thomas Edison's, but that's so important as well, because just stepping into the space, this FIU, wherever university you may be attending, it's a playground, and really, like you said, casting that net, being able to see what you like, what puts a bad taste in your mouth, what you like. This is a time to experiment with that, because it's not that it's going to be too late when you do it out there, but you're going to also wish that you were able to do it at this age, at this very ripe age that we're at, in order to experience different things and be like, we have that safety net of, okay, we failed and nothing's going to be like taken away crazily, but say if you get in the corporate world or just in the professional world, say you made this mistake that you weren't able to practice before, then it's going to be a lot more risky. It's just a little bit more risky territory. So this is definitely the time to do everything that you can, even when it feels overwhelming, but it's going to be so fast and you're going to look back and you're going to feel proud of that. So definitely make sure that goes. But so honor students receive credit if they come.
That is true. Honor student and those in the Global Learning Program. I believe that some of the events and programs that we do count as points for their programs as well.
Okay, awesome. And then I know that you were talking about the pitch competitions that also.
Yes. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So throughout the year, based on the connections that the staff at StartUP FIU has, we get different opportunities from, for example, Emerge Americas, which is one of the largest tech conferences here in Miami.
Wow.
That happens at the end of March or beginning of April of every year. And just like that opportunity, we get from different accelerators and incubators, nationally, regional, and even local, different hackathons and pitch competitions that we then share with the students that are at stage in order to participate, and we also support them in that process. Also, in the past, we have participated in HALT Prize, which is the largest social entrepreneurship in the world.
Wow.
And 2 years ago, one of our teams got 6th place in the regional competition, and last year, our students were able to, this year, they were able to participate in Rio de Janeiro. Actually, they travel over there in order to participate in regionals as well. So if you're interested to not only to develop your idea, your project, but also want then to participate in different programs. For example, we have one of our students, Fernando, he's participating right now in Capital One summer program. So those are the type of opportunities that we offer based on the network that we have.
That's awesome. Shout out Fernando. I see you on your skateboard all the time. We just have the same time clock and schedule. So I saw your face on the flyer for one of the student idea circles. So I knew that you're already a great asset to StartUP FIU.
If you want to meet Fernando, so he's actually the host of the student idea circle. So it's a good person to meet.
Definitely, if you can, go on Panther Connect, look at different events that StartUP FIU is having throughout the year. Speaking of that, the Welcome Back event will be happening very, very soon.
Yes, Tuesday, August 29th from 3 to 5 p.m. It will be here at the StartUP FIU space. Again, on the 3rd floor of the MARC Building. I like to say we're right next to Vicky Bakery and
the Frost Museum.
And the Frost Museum, yes. So the Welcome Back event, it's actually being hosted by 3 units or departments, StartUP FIU, Global Learning Initiatives, and Breakthrough Tech Miami. And we all have, we all center around creating students or developing students to be more innovative, more creative, looking at things from maybe a societal impact and a societal innovation lens. So it's just going to be a great way to learn more about the organizations that are out here that you can participate with or be a part of. It's going to be student organizations, units within FIU, some outside members of the Miami Tech ecosphere as well. There's going to be some food, presentations, swag. So it's just a great opportunity exactly to network, meet more people, and kind of kick off the fall semester with a really strong start.
Wow, that sounds awesome. I will definitely be doing my best to be here at that time. I think that's all we're going to do for today. It's been a wonderful conversation with you both. I hope the audience, whoever's watching, that you're able to gain some insight from this conversation that we had here. And if you're a potential Panther or a current student here at FIU, definitely take use of what you want to do here at the university because it's super important. And also just, it's here. Like, we are so... What's the word?
Blessed, lucky.
Blessed, yes, lucky,
fortunate.
Fortunate, that's the word. We're so fortunate to have these kind of resources at the palm of our hands, so definitely don't just get comfortable and just, here, another thing there. Go out, step foot, try something new. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, then that's how you know you need to redirect yourself and go onto the next path that's going to be for you. So, again, thank you so much, StartUP FIU. Had a wonderful conversation today. And any last words that you want to say for anything?
Well, just be sure to visit our Instagram, visit Panther Connect, and if you have any questions, you can always email us at startup@fiu.edu. We always respond to our emails. And come into the space. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You'll see events happening. You'll see other students gathered, and you'll get to see the creativity. Hopefully, get your creative juices flowing when you come in here.
100%.
Sure. And when I was in college, I didn't have an opportunity or a place like this. So definitely take advantage of this opportunity. Come and just have a chat with us. We'll see how we can support.
they're the nicest humans ever. So don't be scared. And
you.
if you are scared, then act on it, and then you won't be scared anymore. So word of the day.
I like that. I like that.
I saw actually a quote today. It says, "If you're scared, do it anyway. Do it scared."
Right.
So
Not gonna
point,
lie,
good
that
point.
was me today. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video to see who's up next.
take care.
Bye.
See you later.